Welcome, let's take some photos. Now try to find a location that doesn't have a lot of elements in the background that could be distracting, such as other cars, trash cans, or just objects that shouldn't be there. Also, avoid oil spots on the floor if you can. Now let's position the car in the right location without too many interruptions in the background. First, do a quick walk around and wipe off anything that you think could show up in the photos. Next, remove anything from the interior that shouldn't be there. It could be coffee cups, it could be your cell phone, it could be papers. Make sure to check the doors as well as the trunk, and then wipe down the interior just one final time before you take the photos. Now the car's clean and ready to go, just make sure you straighten your front wheels before we begin. One thing that'll help you take great photos is turning on your level and grid. So on an iPhone, you go to Settings, click on Camera, and scroll down to Composition. Turn on the grid and level. This way, you can see the three lines while you're taking your photos, as well as that little marker in the middle that'll help you level your photos. Now, while you're there, you want to make sure that you're taking photos in a 4:3 format because that's what the feed providers request. On an iPhone, open your camera and swipe up where it says Photo, and make sure you have 4:3 selected. On an Android phone, go to Settings and click on Camera Settings and make sure that Composition Guide is turned on. One more step before we take our photos is make sure you clean your camera lens. This is very important. It's best to take the photos by placing the camera at chest level, and feel free to lean into it. You don't want to tilt the phone left or right. It's best to have it centered and leveled. Here's the photo we just took. Pay attention to the left and right side within the photo, so between the car and the edge of the photo. This is the easiest way to make sure that the car is centered. We also want to apply that to the top and bottom. This will make the car the focal point of that photo. Now let's continue. You want to have at least 8 photos of this vehicle from the exterior from these angles. So 3 from the front, 3 from the back, and 1 from each side. So as you take your exterior photos, make sure and focus on centering the car. Always focus on left and right spacing. Look for top to bottom spacing, left to right spacing again. This will make sure that the car is always the focal point in that picture. Now we'll photograph the exterior details. Let's get pictures of all the rims, any special features. In this case, it's an exhaust, maybe dynamic adaptive headlights, tire thread, or anything else that's valuable and customer would want to see. Or if it's a convertible, let's get 1 or 2 photos of the hardtop or the softtop. Now let's take our first interior photo. Open the door and take a photo pointing down with your camera. Try to grab as much interior as you can. So everything from the steering wheel all the way to the passenger side door. Now the second shot, we call this a bonus shot because not many dealers do it. What you want to do is bring the camera down to about seat level and zoom out with your hand so you can get the entire cabin in that photo. Our next shot, with the door still open, place the camera at an angle pointing down and take a photo of the interior driver's seat as well as the steering wheel. Try to capture as much interior space as you can. Next, level your phone and take a photo of the door. And while you're there, one more of the VIN sticker. Now from the driver's seat, taking a photo of the steering wheel, you want to have the phone as far back as possible, close to your chest. Want to make sure your legs are out of the way, the phone is leveled, and the steering wheel is in the middle of the photo. Now photograph features or packages the car has. In this case, it's navigation system, ventilated seats, carbon fiber package, competition package, Harman Kardon sound system. Next, we want a photo of the center console. Move your camera as far back as possible. Make sure it's leveled and the center console is in the center. Moving on to the back seat, since this is a convertible, we'll take a photo like this. If this was a 4-door sedan, we take the same images as we did of the driver's seat. For convertibles, this overhead shot with the roof down is very popular, so make sure you get one of these. Photographing the passenger side is basically the same as what we did on the driver's side, so we want to repeat this shot. Don't forget the bonus shot with the phone down and leveled. Next is our passenger seat shot, just like on the other side. Make sure you photograph that wide so you can also capture the driver's side door. Speaking of door, let's not forget the passenger door. And if this was a sedan, you want to photograph all the doors. Let's also get a photo of the gear shifter and take a moment to look around if there are any other value adds, anything on this car that the customer would want to see in these photos. A few more tips: when you're shooting during daylight, you want to take your pictures when the sun is highest in the sky. That's usually around noon or so. This will give you the best shadows and prevent the sun from being in your photos. And if at all possible, try to park your car in a shaded area to take the interior photos. It looks much better that way than having hard shadows on your interior.
Thanks for watching. To discover even more ways to enhance your vehicle photos, head over to GoxeeDealer.com. Explore our wide range of services designed to take your vehicle listings to the next level.